So there are so many different types of meditation today. People talk about visualization, they talk about guided meditation. Some people say that meditation is nothingness, you know, you're not supposed to think of anything at all. So it gets a bit confusing, and especially during stressful times and so much going on, and we just want to kind of raise our awareness, raise our vibration to start like attracting the things we want in life. How do we actually calm this stress, especially right now when we're in the middle of Hong Kong? You got a lot of noise, a lot of people. How do we actually tune out to tune in? This is how I call it. And I want to cover this in terms of what types of meditation will be best for you dependent on what the outcome you want is, right? There's loads of these different things on Kundalini, yoga, and all this different stuff. But I'm going to break it all down for you in this video. But before we do so, show reel. Hit it. What's up guys, this is Erico, your international speaker, entrepreneur and best-selling author, and in this video I'm going to break down for you the different types of meditation and how to actually look at it, because I got quite a few comments recently, especially when I was doing the stuff on visualization and positive affirmations. People, I think, are getting a little bit confused now with so many different types of meditation. I think I'm getting like loads of water on my glasses, so I'm going to just give this a wipe and I'll see you in a second. So let's start by talking a little bit about meditation and what it actually is, because my yoga master many years ago now taught me about meditation, and when he taught me about it, it was fascinating because I had delved into understanding visualization processes. I had tried those things where you kind of visualize that you're a tree and that branches go from your head and it goes out to the universe, connects to the stars, and then your roots grow from your feet and then go into the core of the earth. And then it plugs into the core, and then you kind of channel this white light through you and all this type of stuff, right? And let me tell you something, right? There's no disrespect to any other types of yoga, meditation, or any types of forms, because they all have their use. But it's very important to understand what all of these uses are actually for. So firstly is to understand that meditation is nothingness. And so it means that you are thinking of no thing. So in actual fact, when you are visualizing, it's a total different thing. The thing is, with today, in modern day society, they've took the old yogi strategies and what they on their practices, and they've took it and they've kind of made it very modern and very funky and very commercial. And so there's all these different names and power yoga and this yoga and that yoga, when actually if we actually strip down right to the source of it and understand meditation, it's about nothingness, meaning that during the time of meditation we are thinking about no thing at all. Now, the thing is this, it's very hard to get ourselves into no thing at all. And so in terms of commercializing it, it's not going to be very useful to you when people say, oh, I'm going to teach you how to think about no thing at all, you know? And it's much more sexy when people say, hey, I'm going to take you through a visualization process or a guided meditation and all this type of stuff, okay? But everything has its uses. So let's say, take for example, a positive affirmation video. This is what I made a few days ago. The use for this is to actually plug something into that subconscious mind. And so it's to reprogram the mind, to put those positive beliefs, those vibrations in that mind so we vibrate at that frequency, which is slightly different to meditation, because meditation is that moment where you can just totally zoom, tune out, to actually tune in to the greater source and go into that place of bliss. So the question is, how do you do this? So when it's about nothingness, when you are most stressed, it's actually hardest to actually get into meditation. Why? Because think about it for a second. A lot of people think, oh, I'm living in a very stressful life, therefore I need to meditate. No, meditation is a place to be, but it's not the transition to the calmness. Because let's put it this way, if you just had an argument, or you're really angry or frustrated or stressed out, and I told you to think about nothing in this moment, don't you think that will be the hardest time to actually get into that moment? So in fact, what you want to do is not to go straight into meditation. Instead, you want to work on the dimmer or the access switches to the mind, which includes things like breathing, left, right nostril, eyes, all this type of thing, yoga. And by the way, I've got a separate video. I'm going to put a link on this video. You guys can watch it afterwards, okay? Or maybe I'll put it in the description below so you can watch it afterwards. But it's got my morning routine of how I actually activate those switches to calm the mind, to get myself into the space of meditation. Now, so with that said, what is the purpose of, let's say, a guided meditation or visualization? My master said that these things are purely something that is suppressing or taking your focus and focusing on something else. What does this mean? It means that it's not actually helping, it's not a long-term fix to your actual problems. So in the process of something like a guided meditation, you are actually focusing on something. You need to channel your mind to focus on something, right? This is like, let's say for example, you have a lot of stress going on one side, and then you decide that no, you're not going to focus on the stress, you're going to go to something else. Let's say what some people go to is things like alcohol and drugs and partying or shopping even. These things, they go and focus on something else to divert their focus so they're not thinking about the stress. That's why it's a temporary fix. You sometimes feel better, but the biggest problem is you need to keep going back to that thing to make yourself feel good. Now, before we carry on, I'm going to change the angle because I'm getting rained on here. I think we need to go indoors. So there's no wonder why a lot of people today, when it comes to meditation, they need to keep going back to meditation every single day. It's kind of a bit like a drug or something they want to go to. But the thing is, meditation is fine every single day. But if you know what the reason for it is, now meditation, if you think nothingness, go out, tune in to the source, be one, bliss, that's the meditation state, right? So not many people actually experience that, is because it's quite hard getting there. You need to be very aligned, you need to be at peace, you need to practice, and when you practice it through, maybe some people it takes years before they ever experience that first experience of bliss, but when you do, it's beautiful. Now, what does this say about all the other forms? So let's take, for example, visualization or guided meditation or positive affirmations meditation, all this type of stuff that people name it today. There is a use for everything. So let's say, for example, if it's positive affirmations, that's to reprogram the mind. Let's say things like some guided meditations take you back, like you have things like timeline therapy, which takes you back into time where you can access your subconscious mind to remember something from when you were 5 and be able to pull those negative beliefs out and pull those roots out, right? So there's different formats that do things like that. There's other forms which my master says when it comes to like visualization, sometimes it's a little bit like hypnosis. So hypnosis being something where it kind of like takes you somewhere else and it accesses that theta brainwave and it kind of in a brainwashing state as well. In actual fact, all of these things are kind of linked. But I think, again, the most important thing is to think, what is the outcome that you want? And if you want to actually learn how to actually meditate properly, how to get into that state of nothingness again, the main thing is this. There's not many strategies, let's say, in meditation, because at the end of the day, you just sit there and you don't think. But the biggest problem is, if you try to close your eyes now and not think, you will be thinking. So again, the things that you need to practice is the dimmer switches. Like I said, I'm going to put a link on this video so you guys can access it. So just to wrap up, if you guys are actually looking to calm your stress or calm that noise, practice other things like breathing. Breathing is everything. Those of you who are used to my videos, I want you to type that, even though you've typed it a million times already, type it below to instill that learning. Breathing is everything. And why I asked you to type that down the box below is because when my master taught me this thing, I was taking notes. I wrote it down and I thought I knew what it meant. But a few years later, I became more aware, more conscious of the power of breathing. So make sure to breathe, abdominal breathing. I've got all these different videos on my channel. So anyway guys, if you've enjoyed this video, okay, what I'd like you to do is if you could hit the like button and support the channel, that would be absolutely amazing. And another thing as well, if you comment below, let us know where you guys have tuned in from. It's always nice to know. We're in a beautiful Hong Kong right now, although it's not so beautiful in terms of the weather, I guess, because it can be a little bit less rainy, I guess, and a little bit less gray, but you know, what is there to complain about when we have this beautiful, beautiful universe to be grateful for? There's no such thing as yin without yang. There's no storms that last forever, and everything is there for a reason. Enjoy every moment of it, guys. I just want to finish off by saying, if you guys are new to this channel, please do support by hitting that subscribe button and the notifications button. Why? Is because now I'm dedicated to making daily videos to hold you accountable with positivity, personal development, all these different tricks, tips, and tools to take your 2018 to the next level. But for now, guys, ciao.